A ripple has appeared in the island nation where Singularity F was observed. It draws servants in, inescapable, inexorable. At the end of the race shift stands the girl with mystic eyes of depth perception. But even with her help, uncovering the truth will not be easy.
Hi guys and gals, Ripsy Thun here, and I'm here with a little bit of a banner update. So right now, here we are, the 3 Knights and 4 Cavalry Summon campaign for the US. A bait banner. So bait banners, they fulfill a slightly auxiliary purpose. They give a necessary break in between really grindy events that we get sometimes in Fate Grand Order. This one's going to end up in about, let's see, 2 more days, February 8th. Gave us a nice break between the Valentine's event and the coming event that we're going to be getting for the next 2 weeks, which is the Garden of Sinners collaboration event for the US. It will be running from February 8th all the way till February 22nd. And boy oh boy, is this a grind heavy event. This event's craft essences are slightly different than the previous ones. In this event, for the St. Course Gacha, there is 2 levels of each of the crafting essence. So there will be 2 5-star crafting essences, 2 4-star crafting essence, and 2 3-star crafting essence. Now these in the St. Course Gacha will increase the drop rates for the in-game currencies, but also have event craft essences that will, strangely enough, increase appearance rate of specific enemies that we're trying to face in this event, such as Decapitating Bunny 2018 will increase the appearance rates of Vengeful Spirits, Threefold Bear will increase the appearance of base models, Summer's Precognition or Summer's Foresight will increase the appearance of Living Corpse, and Chorus or Refrain will increase the appearance rate of Apartment Ghost and Skeleton. These crafting essences are rather interesting. Decapitating Bunny 2018, despite what it says right here, will grant the user the ability to pierce invincible and gain an additional 8% boost to quick performance. For this event, it will also gain a 25% chance to have more vengeful spirits appear. Threefold Barrier will reduce damage taken by 1,000 for 3 attacks, meaning for 3 individual cards you are attacked for, it will reduce the damage by 1,000. It will also increase the precursor form appearance rate by 25%. Now, then we have the Future Sight. It will grant you evasion for 1 attack and increase crit star generation by 15%. It will also give you a plus 25% chance of appearance rate. For the 4 stars, we have Summer's Future Sight and Refrain. Summer's Future Sight will give you an evasion for 1 attack. Crit star generation will gain an additional 15% and also will gain a 25% chance to increase the appearance rate of undead enemies. Refrain, on the other hand, will give you crit star absorption by 300% for 3 turns, a debuff resistance addition of 15% for 3 turns, and will also increase the Mansion Spirit and Skeleton's appearance rate by 25%. Now for this summoning campaign, the only servant that's on rate up this time around is Ryougi Shiki Saber. So I hope you're looking forward to a lot of crafting essences when pulling on this banner, because it's likely you will be getting many of them. So for the 5 stars, we have Peerless Puppeteer and the Mature Gentleman. I do believe Peerless Puppeteer is the better between the 2 of the 5 stars, seeing as it will start you in battle with 50% of your MP gauge and also increase arch card performance by 15% for 3 turns. Mature Gentleman, on the other hand, will increase your def resist by 60%. That's it. Though both of them will also increase the drop rate for the Black Cats. For the 4-star crafting essence, we have Vivid Dance of Fists and Mystic Eyes of Distortion. The one on the left, once again, will win out for better between the 2, as it will increase damage by 800 flat, and it will also increase the drop rate of Strawberry Ice. Mystic Eyes of Distortion will increase Buster performance by 20%, but it will give you a demerit of defense down by 15%, also increasing drops of Strawberry Ice. Now for the 3-star crafting essence, we have Sprinter and Repeat Magic. I'm going to say the one on the right this time will win out. Repeat magic is going to win. It will start the battle with 20% of your MP gauge and increase your MP generation rate by 10%. It will increase the drops of, what is this, mineral waters? Should have figured. Yeah, mineral waters. Sprinter will give you a quick card performance boost of 5% and a debuff resistance addition of 10%, also increasing the drop rate of mineral waters. Though we did go over Ryougi Shiki Saber in a previous video, let's give her a cursory overview once more. She has a maximum Grail attack of 11,736 and a maximum Grail HP of 16,929. Her Grail attack is about, I'm going to say medium high for Sabers, with a high on the end of the Grail HP of 16,929. Her star absorption is the typical 102 for Sabers. Star generation is slightly lower at 9.9%. The MP gain on attack is 0.84%, which is roughly the average for Sabers. Also, the MP gain on defense, 3% is the average for Sabers as well. She does have a low death rate of 24.5%. Lower is always better. Lower is always better. She has a typical Saber deck of Quick, Arch, Arch, Buster, Buster, hitting for 4 times, 2 times, 1 times, and 4 for the extra attack. Her active skills, starting off with Mystic Eyes of Depth Perception C, will ignore invincibility for 1 turn, increase own arch performance for 1 turn, and reduce all enemies' instant death resistance for 1 turn as well. The arch boost will start from 25%, maxing out at 40%, and the death resistance debuff will go from 60% down to 80%. That's rather good, especially considering what effect her Noble Phantasm has. Now, we'll look at her second skill, Cloud Shine B. It will increase her own attack for 3 turns and increase her own mental debuff resistance for 3 turns as well. Her attack boost will jump from 15% to 25% at level 10, and her debuff resistance will jump from 18 and doubling it to 36 at level 10 as well. Moving on to a third and last skill is Yin Yang A. She will recover her own HP, but she will reduce her own MP gauge by 10%. Now the heal will start at 2000 HP and end at 5000 HP if you manage to get it to level 10. Ryougi Shiki has some very interesting passive skills. She has Magic Resistance A, which will increase debuff resistance by 20%. Independent Manifestation C increases crit damage, debuff resistance, and death resistance by 6%. And then her third skill, passive skill, is Connection to the Root A. It will increase Quick Card, Arch Card, and Buster Card performance by 6% as well. Looking at her Noble Phantasm of the Arts type, her Noble Phantasm, Mukushiki Kara no Kyokai, is an Arts type Noble Phantasm that is anti-unit, which is misleading because it's actually an area of effect Noble Phantasm, which should be titled anti-army. But it deals damage ignoring defense boost to all enemies and will cure your party's debuffs. It has a base damage output of 450%, maxing out at 750%. And its secondary skill will grant an instant chance of death, starting at 60% and capping off at 100%. Ryougi Shiki has a very interesting toolbox at her disposal. Using her Noble Phantasm, she can deal with enemies using the Evade skill. For her first skill, she can clear out any enemies using an Invincibility skill. Her Noble Phantasm has fairly good crowd control, being an area of an effect Noble Phantasm. Her secondary skill will boost her attack, making her even more lethal, and her third skill gives her a little bit more sustainability. Ryougi Shiki can be thought of as an arts-based pseudo-Altera, meaning she can pretty much reliably take care of herself, either by buffing herself or keeping herself up via her healing skill. And if we scroll down a little bit further, her Bond 10 crafting essence, when equipped to Ryougi Shiki Saber, it increases arch card performance of all allies by 15%. Though there are many servants that have skills like, well, crafting essences at bond 10 like this, it does still help, since it will be the only means Ryougi Shiki has to support her teammates. Now, in order to complete the Karen no Kyokai event, you will need to complete various missions to which each one has its own unique unlock conditions and goal. Now, if I'm looking at this right, we have about 100 individual missions in order to complete the entire mission list. And rather than list out each of the individual mission and its reward, I'll simply briefly summarize. By completing the missions in its entirety, you will be able to obtain 16 golden apples, 7 summon tickets, 1 copy of Summer's Future Sight, 1,000 mana prisms, 30 hero proofs, 10 meteor horseshoes, 30 Yggdrasil seeds, 10 homunculus babies, 30 unlucky bones, 10 heart of the foreign gods, 30 dragon fangs, 10 reverse dragon scales, 10 of each class of the servant monuments, likewise for servant pieces, 10 as well. You will net 5 copies of Ryougi Shiki Assassin, the free servant for this event. 4 copies of Sharp Knife, the essential material needed for you to fully ascend your Ryougi Shiki Assassin. 9 Saint Quartz, Kuji Kanesada, 20 copies of Kuji Kanesada, the Crafting Essence EXP boost crafting essence for this event, 30 copies of Octuplet crystals, 1 crystallized lore, and about roughly 18 million QP. Ryougi Shiki Assassin is the free 4-star servant for this event, and as the name applies, is an assassin servant. She has a maximum grail attack of 10,736 and a maximum grail HP of 13,404, both on the upper ends of the assassin scale. She has a star absorption of 102, a star generation of 25.6%, both normed for the assassin class, an MP charge on attack of 0.8%, which is actually low for an assassin. However, she does possess 2 arts cards instead of just 1 like other typical assassin's class servants. She does also have an MP charge on defense of 4% and a death rate of 44%. Assassins actually tend to have a higher death rate than most of the other classes. For her active skills, we have Mystic Eyes of Death Perception A. She actually has a more superior dojutsu ability as an assassin servant. Like her other form, it will ignore invincibility for 1 turn, increase own arts card performance for 1 turn. However, it will only reduce 1 enemy's instant death resistance for 1 turn. Now, the arts card boost is more higher than her saber counterpart. It will start at 30% and max out at 50%. The death resistance, also slightly higher than her saber counterpart, starts at 80% and caps off at 100%. Her second skill, Eye of the Mind False A, will grant herself evasion for 1 turn and increase her own crit damage for 3 turns. The crit damage boost will start at 20% and doubles off at 40%. Her third and last skill, Yin Yang B. She will charge her own Noble Phantasm gauge, however she will deal 1000 damage to herself. Now the MP gain will start at 20% and end at 30%. Her passive skills are Presence Concealment C, which will increase own critical star generation by 6%, and Independent Action A, which will increase own critical attack damage by 10%. Her Noble Phantasm, Yushiki Chokushi no Maga, is an archetype Noble Phantasm that is an anti-unit, so it targets only a single enemy. It will deal damage to a single enemy ignoring defense. Now, like with all other free event servants, we're going to ignore the MP at level 1 and then just look straight at MP 5, because by the time this event is over, as long as you're actively playing, you will get her to MP 5. So she'll be dealing damage for roughly about 1500%. And the secondary effect will give you a chance to inflict instant death to an enemy target. Now, unlike her 5-star counterpart, her Bond 10 crafting essence is rather scary if you think about it. Red Jacket. Red Jacket, when equipped on a Ryougi Shiki assassin, increases the party's insta-kill success rate by 30%. So if you like using servants who have a plethora of insta-kill skills, she will be a great asset.
The Cardinal Kyukai event is right around the corner. Are you ready for a mysterious encounter?
生きているのなら神様だって殺してみせる。
フェイトグランドオーダー空の教会コラボイベント開催。